To understand how a bird adapts to survive, you have to read its internal mail. That mail is written in peptides, short chains of amino acids that pulse between organs, carrying highly specific instructions. The physical highway for these chemical instructions is the hypothalamic pituitary axis, or HP axis. Blood vessels form a direct portal connection right here, deep inside the brain. Every major biological shift a bird goes, whether preparing to migrate, mate, or flee a predator, flows through this specific two-organ choke point. The system operates on a strict hierarchy. The hypothalamus reads the environment and issues the order. The pituitary receives that order and broadcasts the signal outward to the rest of the body. This central biological highway is the foundation. Tracing these pathways reveals how a bird translates a changing season or a sudden threat into a physical chemical response. Let's look at the diagram mapping the reproductive system. In spring, increasing environmental light physically penetrates the bird's skull, hitting deep brain photoreceptors. This triggers the hypothalamus, firing pink pulses of gonadotropin-releasing hormone, or GnRH, down the portal vessels. The frequency of those GnRH pulses is the system's throttle. As the pulses accelerate, the pituitary responds by flooding the bloodstream with LH and FSH. This signals the gonads to grow and prepare for breeding. But as days shorten in the winter, the environment triggers a biological break. A different network of neurons branches outward, releasing a peptide called GnIH, gonadotropin-inhibitory hormone. GnIH actively applies the brakes in two places at once. It directly suppresses the GnRH neurons in the brain from firing, and it simultaneously blocks the receptor sites down on the pituitary. Before GnIH was discovered in Japanese quail in the year 2000, the assumption was that vertebrate reproduction simply wound down of stimulation. We now know birds rely on a highly active chemical off switch. Once the eggs are laid, the strategy shifts from breeding to parenting. The hypothalamus sends purple pulses of vasoactive intestinal peptide, VIP, down to the pituitary, which then releases prolactin. That prolactin alters the bird's physical state. It induces the brooding posture required to incubate eggs, and in species like pigeons, it physically thickens the wall of the crop sac to produce nutrient-rich crop milk. Let's test your memory of mammalian endocrinology. What is the human peptide acronym for water retention? In humans, it's AVP. In birds, it's AVT, arginine vasotosin. If we compare the molecular structures, we see they are nearly identical, save for a single amino acid swapped at position 8. That slight structural shift allows AVT to reabsorb water in the kidney tubules, while simultaneously acting on the brain centers that control songbird vocalization. Alongside it is mesotocin, the avian equivalent of oxytocin, which regulates oviduct muscle contraction and flocking behavior. Birds utilize these evolutionary counterparts to perform universal survival tasks alongside specialized avian behaviors. The single amino acid swap in AVT is what allows one peptide to manage both kidney function and